Hey, it's your boy Jay Hardcore Boxing News. Back at you with what's happening in the world of boxing today. Hearing a lot of back noise. Is that you, Marvin?
Yeah, Jay.
You got a
Can't
TV
hardly hear
playing?
you though, man.
I think you got the TV playing. I hear a lot of TV. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
My man. How you feeling today, brother?
Man, everything cool, man. Everything real cool, man.
Nice. Everything's lovely here as well, man. And just another day to be able to talk about boxing just feels good to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Check this out, Jay. I was
What's up?
on another show, and I
Mm-hmm.
was with on a show with Pepe Correa. You ever heard
Mm-hmm.
of him?
No, I haven't.
Well, he's the one that started Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, a lot of
Okay.
people thought that Dave Jacobs was the one that started him. Nah,
Yeah, that's who
it
I
was
thought it was, Dave
right,
Jacobs.
right. It was Pepe Correa. He had
Okay.
a club there called it was Latin Connection.
Oh yeah, I remember Latin Connection down in DC.
Yeah. Well, Pepe Correa, he was the owner. He was the head coach.
Okay, yeah. I'm familiar with Latin Connection then. Yeah.
Yep. Simon
Oh,
Brown and Maurice Blockerbots fought there.
yeah, exactly. Hey, Latin
Yeah,
Connection be the spot back in the day when we was
yeah,
young. People used to
yep,
say, "Oh yeah, I boxed for Latin Connection." That meant
yep,
something, Jack.
yep. Yeah, Pepe Correa, he was the trainer there, man. I
Okay,
think it was from Brooklyn or the Bronx, man.
nice. You come in the door teaching, bro. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in the
Yeah, but
door.
I'm saying I didn't know that myself, right? Because
Mm,
all I saw was Dave Jacobs, and we used to go to DC to the Sugar Ray Leonard gym when it was over there. It wasn't in Palmer Park at the time, but
mm-hmm,
it was in that area. And
mm-hmm.
I always thought that Dave Jacobs was the one that started it, man. But
Yeah,
nah.
me too.
See,
I always
Jinx
thought.
Morton came on board, and
Mm-hmm.
who else? Dave Jacobs came on board, but
Oh,
Pepe was the one that started it, man.
wow. You don't normally know who would be the first origin of the person because they normally don't get the recognition, man. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Pepe
Yeah.
also trained Lennox Lewis. He was, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He's a great trainer, man. You know, you know,
Nice.
yeah, man, it was on this show last on Friday, man, and you know, like I was, you know,
Okay. What show was that?
the Troy Graham Experience.
Troy Graham. Okay, I heard that name before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
watched. I watched. I watched the show. It was a good show, man.
yeah,
Pep Korea and Marvin and Troy Graham. They talked about the old days and the old fighters in Baltimore, and I mean it was a good show, bro. I mean,
yeah,
and you're talking Pepe Correa. I mean this man's royalty, like you said, trained Sugar Ray Leonard, Lennox Lewis,
yeah.
Simon.
He also trained Sugar Ray Leonard's brother, Roger,
Roger. I
and
see.
he told me
I was.
that
Yeah.
Roger was a little better than Sugar, but he
Yeah.
just didn't follow
I
through.
knew. I met Roger. I knew Roger. I knew Roger before I never met Ray, but I met Roger.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
did meet Ray one time later on, but
hmm
I met Roger because I knew Roger through a guy named Arthur Rush, and Arthur
yeah,
Rush was a big cat down in D.C. and he's
yeah.
the
And
one that
he
introduced me
fought
to
in the Air
Roger.
Force. He fought for the Air Force team, boxing team.
Okay, oh yeah, I knew Roger. Roger was slick, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew
Roger the
Roger for
Dodger.
sure.
They call
I
Roger
him
saw
the
Roger the
Dodger,
Dodger.
Roger fight. I
right?
saw him fight in
Yeah,
Providence. In fact, I think it
yeah.
was his last fight. I think Sugar Ray told him no more, Roger.
Right. I think Roger problems. He had problems because I wasn't sure was it alcohol or drugs, one or the other. But he had
Drugs.
a yeah, he had
One
a
or the
fall.
other.
He
One
had
or
a
the other.
fall. He had a fall. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yes, indeed. What's up, Bruce Gas? How you doing today, bro?
Hey, bopping in to talk to the old heads over here, bro. Maybe learn a
How you doing, man?
Hang in there, hang in, brother.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. And some other the brothers going to start showing up as well. Hey, shout out to Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny. They got their own street right
Oh yeah, I
across
was
the
there. I
street
was
from the.
there at the ceremony, man. I was there.
Yes, I seen you in the video. I seen
Y-
you.
Yeah.
I seen. I can't remember who video I seen, but maybe
It
did you
was
put something up on?
Zed Brooks.
Okay. I know I seen somebody video and I seen you in there. I wasn't able to make it to it, man. I wanted
Yeah.
to, but I couldn't.
But
I
you
was
know the
at.
news should have been there, man.
Well,
And
they was
somebody from
they,
the mayor's office should have been there.
when now
You
the
know?
news was there for Kenny's daughter because I was there for Kenny's
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah. But I'm talking about, hey, they the
Yeah,
ones that train. He the one train his daughter. You know, they
right.
should
I
have.
know.
The
Yeah.
news should have been there, man.
So the news wasn't even there.
Nope.
That's pitiful. That's
And wasn't
pitiful.
nobody from the mayor's office either, from the city.
That's,
Wasn't there?
I wonder was they contacted.
No, but I'm saying if you get a street named after you,
Mm-hmm.
some of the city official had to set
Know
something up
about
like
it.
that. You know, you just can't
Oh,
put a put
I know you can't
your
do. Yeah,
name on the street.
I know that. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
what you're saying. I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
they should have been there for the ceremony.
Yeah, and yeah, that ain't a good thing. But hey, at least they got a street, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's across the street from the gym. So
yep,
that's what's up, man. Yes,
yeah. I
indeed.
was happy for him, man. You know,
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. When I seen the video, I said, okay, look at Marvin down there supporting. I seen you.
Yeah,
I seen
gotta
you.
do that, man. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. Matter of fact, I learned about it the last minute myself, man. But I still wouldn't have been able to make it. But I maybe if I knew a little bit earlier, I would have been able to.
Yeah, but to tell the truth, man, that's a great honor, man.
It's
You
a
know,
hell of an honor, man.
yeah,
Hell of an honor, man. Hell of an honor, man, for sure. Yes, indeedy, man.
But it should have put their last name on it, though, man. It just say Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny.
I
You
guess
know?
they only did it because I mean, how much can you get on a sign? You know what
No,
I
but
mean?
you could write it small, though, man.
Yeah, but then it ain't being seen from off the street if it's small.
Yeah, but I'm saying it could have said Coach. You know, they could have said Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. You know.
Yeah, I can dig it. But at least they got it, though. At least
Yeah,
they got
for
it.
real.
At least they got it, man. And it's better than nothing. You know
And
what I mean?
Right.
anybody who knows boxing, when they see those two names up there, they'll know who they are, bro. They don't need any last names. They're kind of like Cher and Donovan. I mean, what Madonna? What one name?
No,
But I
only
guess he
thing I'm
said
saying, look,
200
I say this
200
because
years from now, 200 years from now is what you're saying, right?
yeah, what I'm saying is somebody come in town and ride down the avenue and see that sign, right? Coach Kenny, Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny, right? He could think that they football players or something or basketball coaches or something, man. You know,
I can dig
it
it.
really had no real identity to it.
I can dig it. Yeah. Well, they got it. So at least they got
Yeah,
something
yeah.
better than
No, I'm
nothing.
not. I'm just saying, man. You know, they could have. The city could have done a little better.
Yeah, I
Something,
agree.
man.
The city should have been there for one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They should have been there. You know, that's the most important thing. The mayor should have been there. And if the mayor couldn't have been there, I don't know what the hell, what they got, a junior mayor or whatever. I don't know. Somebody should have
or the
been
representative for that area.
there.
You know, the
Exactly.
council person or something from that
I-
area.
You guys complain about everything, man. You guys.
It's all love, man. But yeah, man, today, man, first of all, before we get started, man, I want to recognize the people that are in the hangout, man. All right. First of all, we got the Rise. Oh, it's Showtime the Guy. My guy Pass. Peace and blessings, hardcore. Peace and blessings to everybody in the hangout. Then we got a Rise podcast. Shout out to all the older cats from the Rise podcast. Then we got Tim Layton said Tim Layton hashtag JBT. Peace and blessings, family. Then we got Tanya Vandross Williams Jr. She say Sunday evening, hardcore showtime. The Guy, Just Do, Justin James, Tim Layton, Mike Rim, Thomas McCord, Thomas Hill, Ariana, Love, Peace and Happiness, William Old School, Richie Baby, Kenny, and Smoothie King and Calvin. We got Justin James says salute to Jay, salute to the Hangout, peace. We got the first lady, Heather E., first woman ever to be in the Hangout. Heather E., salute to her. We got Ace Boogie. He said love family. We got JC, salute JC. He's probably from Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz people.
All the heavy gas hitters out there, man, coming to see us.
Okay. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, probably from Bruce Gas. We got David Tazane, my guy, straight from South Africa. Salute to him. And he's an MMA fighter, man. So salute to him. He says salute hardcore. Is KC coming on tonight? From what I understand, he's supposed to show up. If I think people let him know what time it's supposed to be. We got Thomas Hill. He says salute to the family. Shout out to the panel. Let the boxication begin. All righty. We got who else? Let me see. Jess K says salute Bruce and chat. Obviously, he's from Bruce Gas channel. All righty. We got John Max Smith, another Bruce guy. He says salute Bruce.
A living legend on YouTube, McSmith.
Nice. Thomas Hill said Marvin McDowell, salute champ. That was from Thomas Hill from out of California. We got John Max Smith, we just said his name. We got Ghost 123. Ghost 123 said, yo. All right. I think he might be from our Bruce channel as well. We got the drunk Irishman. I know he's from Bruce channel. Yes, indeed, because he's been in here before. The Rise podcast say CIAA weekend. Everybody was tied up. That's why the mayor and all them weren't here, because of the CIAA weekend. That's why people didn't show up. Okay. William Old School in the smoke session, sports and entertainment. Gotta be from our Bruce Gas. He said smoke session. I know that's from Bruce. William Old School. He said Jay Hardcore, salute my brother. And y'all smash the like button, people, when entering into the building. We got my man Ant McQueen in the building. He said at Justin James. We got BVO Boxing. Salute to my brother Bruce. Okay. We got KS says bless up. Bless up. We got Purser, hashtag CCD, hashtag PFM, Bruce Gas Peoples for show. Let's see who else. We got Lonnie Lee, my brother. What's up, Lonnie Lee? We got 12 threes in the building. Your first time in the hangout. Let me see what y'all hitting on. We want to welcome 12 threes to the Hardcore Hangout. 12 threes, we just a bunch of hardcore degenerates that get together, talk about this beautiful sport we love called boxing. We got only one rule around here: no hitting below the belt. That means we don't talk about nobody's mama up in here. Other than that, everything else is fair game. We want to welcome my guy into the building, man. Let me see. Demetrius Bright in the building. What's up, Demetrius Bright? He says, salute, brother Bruce Gas. Salute, Jay. Salute the panel and blessings. We got Miss Joette in the building. Salute, sis. Good to see you, little sis. For sure. William Old School said, Marvin, salute, bro. All righty. Thomas Hill said, the esteemed colleague, Ant McQueen, respect. Let me see. All right, we got my guy Scale Scrupatory in the building. He says you learn more with hardcore. Like and subscribe. Salute to my guy. Yes, indeed. GM say Thomas Hill, JBT, salute, brothers. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Let me see. Did we get everybody? All right. Gregory Pratt, last on the list. He said, yo, 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 what it do, hardcore family? Salute to our big homies. Salute back at you, man. Yeah, for sure. Aunt McQueen say, this Cabernet got me smiling, Heather E. He over there drinking a little Weinerman over there. Okay. Good to be in the building, man. And we up in here, man. And the topic today is the business of boxing. Is it in the way or has it always been like this? How about that, man? And we got another. Look, Marvin laughing at that one. We got another guy in the building. D-Ray live on the drive, and he's another Bruce guy for sure. Salute to D-Ray live on the drive, man. For sure. So yeah, man. What do y'all think? The business of boxing, is it in the way or has it always been like this? Anybody want to start out?
For me, it's always been like that, man. You know, but they made attempts to try to change some things, man. But it's hard, you know, to get everybody on the same page, man. Especially when the distribution of the funds, man, comes in different categories, and it's kind of hard, you know, to really straighten that thing out, man.
When you say that it comes in different categories, what do you mean by that?
Financial wise.
Yeah, okay, different, but you said that it comes.
I'm saying the purses, say like I'm just starting out. I ain't making no money, but they want to take something from me to put in a pot. You know, there's somebody that makes more than me. They had, you know, it's hard to determine how much they're going to take from you to put in a pot for you to have something after your career is over with.
Now, when you say in the pot, what pot are you talking about?
What I'm saying, say like somebody get involved, man, with though you're trying to straighten your money out, all right, and have some in the end, you know, when your career is over with. So they take a certain amount out and put it in that fund, you know. So when you do retire, you will have such and such amount of money in that fund. Everybody ain't going to have the same because everybody don't make the same.
Okay, so you're talking like a pension,
right?
Yeah, but a lot of states don't even have a pension for boxers, right?
They don't at all have none now.
Yeah, I know. I know California got a pension. I read about that the other day. But they got a pension, but nobody knew about it. Yeah.
Only the boxers that got it, huh?
Only a few knew about it, right?
That's kind of hard to keep up with, man. You know,
exactly.
You got to have some trustworthy people, you know, involved in that. You know, because you know, it's hard when you do something individual. You know, like nobody really took their time to really, you know, get this thing going, man. You know, because boxing is a one man sport. You know, it's an individual situation, and it's kind of hard to really knock it down. You know, to make it right.
I understand. Bruce Gas.
Yo.
Talk to me. The business of boxing.
The business of boxing is always been crooked. The thing is, back in the day, man, see, I mean, guys like Don King, and even before him, you had the guys like Frankie Cabo and the Blinky Palermos. These guys, they were enforcers. You didn't fuck with these guys. These guys will break your fucking legs, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, today,
or you disappear.
Or you disappear. I mean, you know, it was a different game. People kept their mouths shut. Now we're in the age of the internet, and everything is out in the open. I mean, you know, back then you couldn't go to cops. The cops were on the payroll of the mob. I mean, you know, it was a catch-22. You did what you were told. Now we're in an open world. The pen is mightier than the sword, and everything's out in the open. We're seeing how the boxers are getting screwed over. We're seeing how the people are screwing them over, how they've been getting away with it for years, and how it's catching up to them now because now, like I said, everything is recorded. You can't make a move without being on camera.
Right.
We're open books basically. So the boxing is just as crooked, if not more so crooked today. But we know more about it. We can see who the rats are on every level. It's not so much cash anymore. We deal in electronic transitions, and everything can be traced. I mean, with Don King, it was a suitcase of money, and you left it next to the dude you were with, and a wink and a handshake. Now everything has to be accounted for. You got lawyers involved. You got accountants involved. I mean, it's insane, and that's why it's so out in the open now, because you got the bean counters where if this account is off by $1 million and this one has got $1 million into it, they want to find out why, and you get all the internet investigators on there, and it becomes wide open, and we're seeing how crooked boxing is. But I don't think it's any more crooked. I think there's always been people trying to take advantage of fighters forever.
Yeah, it's just being open now. Because back in the day, I had a trainer named Jimmy McAllister, right? And he said that the promoters, used to give him a bag of money, right? Mm-hmm. Or they give money, put like a $20 bill on top. You think you got a bunch of 20s, you go through it, you got ones. Give you a whole knot of ones, man. Put a $20 on the top and a $20 on the bottom, and put a rubber band around it. You think you got a bunch of money, man. You get home and count it, man. You got about $200 in dollar bills with the 20 on top and 20 on bottom.
Hey, that was an old school move you used to do around girls too. You know what I'm saying? you get that knot, you put that 100 on top and a bunch of one. They think you paid, Jack. What's up, Bernard?
Hey, my good brothers, how y'all doing tonight? Bruce, Marvin, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, good brothers?
All right, how you doing?
Good evening.
Hey, hardcore. Look, my trainer, he used to fight back in I guess in the 30s and 40s, right? Mm-hmm. And he told me, he said, man, that he was in there fighting. He looked out in the audience. Mm-hmm. Guy look at him, man, flash his pistol at him, right? He had to take a dive.
No.
Yeah, that's where they used to do it, man.
Wow. Flash the pistol out.
Yeah, he flashed a pistol, man, So he going to take that punch, man. They used to do it. That's how them gangsters used to run it, man.
Wow.
They flashed the weapon on you, man. Say, hey, man, you better go and take that dive, man.
Wow. All right, Bernard, the question was, man, the business of boxing, is it in the way or has it always been in the way like this?
I think the business of boxing has always been the way it is. I mean, people complained about Don King. People complained about before Don King, the mob was running things. People complained. It's always been a complaint at some point. So if the same thing is still running, but we still have a sport and we're still thriving. I mean, boxing hasn't unthrived. I think it's just part of it.
And everybody's still making money. Whether you get all your money, there's still a lot of money involved.
Well, back in the day, it seemed like it was top heavy back in the day. At least it's trickling down to the fighters now.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I think more than that, I think you've gotten fighters that have started to say, I could take control of my career. And it's only a very few that can do that. But when they do that and they also control the card status, meaning if they where they fight on certain days or not certain days or whatever, it gives a different play to it. You know, like I said, we all know Canelo's going to do May 4th and September. When Floyd was running the show, Floyd was doing those dates, so those guys had control of their career as far as when they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So that added another player to the table as far as how things went.
William Old School, how you doing?
Tired.
Okay. The business of boxing, is it in the way or has it always been like this?
It's always been dirty. I mean, let's face it. It's just flat out dirty.
Yeah.
Problem is, you got guys at the top making a lot of money. The guys at the bottom ain't making shit. So if they don't do halfway decent in their career, they'll never see any money.
Right. That's right.
You know, I'd like to see these young fighters getting a little more money at the bottom. That way, at least if they have to retire early, you know, they have a little something to sit down on.
Right.
If not, think about it. They ain't got nothing.
Yep.
You got guys at the top being paid a ton of freaking money. You got guys at the top being paid a ton of freaking money, and some of them ain't deserving of it. We paying Canelo $40-50 million for fighting nobodies. Think about that. Lately, he hasn't even been covering the house tab that's being put out on him. How much money did the Zone lose on him?
Nobody knows because nobody sees their books.
But they didn't sell out like they were supposed to sell out. That Ryder fight didn't sell it to shit. No, dude. It's a whole freaking mess.
Yep.
I keep hoping year after year things will change, things will get better. But as long as the crap keeps going on, Canelo don't have to drop his belts. He can keep his belts, yet everybody else got to drop their belts. Go figure this out.
I wish I could. I can't. I can't figure that out. If I could, I'd be paid too. Yeah, if I could, I'd be paid too. So I can't figure it out. Next question, fellas, man. You know, and Marvin was talking about the pension, man. You know, most companies, government, and everything have a pension, man. But this sport does not have anything for fighters when it's over, man. And it's the most brutal job that you can actually have, but there's no pension. Why do y'all think it's like that?
Because
we don't have the league.
Everybody don't get the same amount. It's hard to really put something together. Like I said before, you know, like here you got a 10 rounder, he making his money, a 4 rounder making his money, a 6 rounder making their money. You know, it's just hard to distribute, you know, or what they can take from you to put away, you know. So you starting off fighting 4-round fight, you getting maybe $1,500,000. You know, what they gonna take from you? You know, you gotta you know, pay your cornerman. You know, you got a manager. If you got a manager, he gonna get his cut. So I'm saying, you can't have nothing to put away.
Well, how would you do it then, Marvin?
Well, what I would do, you know, I would make it so that it'd be a certain amount of money that they would take out. Say, like if the guy was making maybe $1,500 for a 4-rounder, you know, take $50 to $75 to put it away, you know, and as he fight more and more, you know, as he, you know, fight 6-rounders, 10-rounders. See, that's what I'm saying. It's really kind of hard.
How about a percentage? How about percentage though? So that way,
but what I'm saying,
but if you take 10%, let's say they take 5%, okay? They take 5% of the gross, okay? not before
Right.
it get taxed or anything. The gross, you know what I mean, and that is put away. Now Canelo got to put 5%, and this got to put 5%. But then Canelo gonna say, "Well, I'm putting 5% of 30 million. He's putting 5% of such and such." So when it's finally get a payout, how does that work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not going to be an even payout.
It ain't gonna be even.
Well, you know what the problem is? The problem is, see, boxers, they're independent contractors.
Right.
There's no union. They don't work for one person.
Right.
I mean, everybody's on their own. And you see, if you think back a little bit, boxers they tried to organize. There was a senator. His name was John McCain, and he if you remember, he tried to put a bill together where there was a medical insurance for boxers. There was a pension fund. You know, it was an organization. But
they put the Muhammad Ali Act together.
He couldn't even get that bill to be heard in the House because nobody gives a shit about boxing. Only us hardcore fans. That we don't want to. They don't want to waste the taxpayers' money to put together a union for boxing. I mean, boxers are on their own. And then there was a woman in Texas. You cats must remember her, Josephine Abercrombie. I mean, she's a millionaire, a billionaire, a philanthropist, and she had the Houston Boxing Association. Frank Tate, fighters were clamoring to become part of the HBA because she had pensions for fighters, she had medical insurance, she had dental, everything that normal Americans, normal human beings deserve at work. But after she got out of it, nobody gave a shit anymore because there's no money in it, and that's the problem. Every fighter's on their own, and if they don't prepare for it, if they don't get their own retirement plan, their own health insurance, when they retire, they're fucked. They're at the mercy of Medicare and Medicaid. Even if they have to be smart enough to even go through those walls to get that. So boxers, they're in a real tough position about having retirements and especially medical care, insurance for their families when they get hurt. That's for the guys making six figures. The guys in the gym, they don't have that opportunity, and that's what they need. We need people for grassroots to organize to get boxing unions. But man, is it going to happen? I don't think so. I've been waiting for since the 70s to see something like this happen. Yeah. And like I said, John McCain, when he died, the whole fucking United States government boxing bill died. Nobody else wanted to pick it up. And that's the problem with boxing, man. We're on our own.
But do you think that, and I love everything you were saying there just now, and it sounds great, but do you think if we did have something like that, that it would change what boxing look like? Right now, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, all of them have unions and they have all these things in place.
But the difference is a team.
But there's a team in the league. But the difference is you would limit a lot of fighters if that happened, because do you think, like right now, all you do is go fill out for a license and you're a licensed fighter. If they did say, okay, we have this structure of what will be the pension, will be the retirement, everything, every single person who ever owned a pair of boxing gloves will go sign up for it. There will be no regulation on how many the limit is. The NFL says we have this many people on the team. The NBA says we have this many people on the team. In boxing, there is no number.
Yeah, well, see, California has a pension, but with California, you have to have an X amount of rounds to qualify for that pension.
Right.
And that, you have to have overseers. It's very, very complicated, Coach. And that's the
and I think if that was to happen, and promoters or whoever would have to give up X amount of dollars, you'd see a lot of fighters who they just would not give opportunities to fight. They just wouldn't get, because it wouldn't make sense to them. Like, you got guys that got records that are ridiculous that are still fighting, but they tough guys. 11-29, 8-35. Those, but they're tough. They ain't been just beaten up. But those are the guys that using to build records. They not gonna get those guys fights. That they would consider a waste of money. Have we ever seen an NFL team keep a guy on the roster that had zero value to them?
Wow. Well, this is why if we're going to be an elite sport, the cream rises to the top, and that's why the fighters have to fight more, establish their names. establish their reputations. Right now, when guys are fighting once a year, everything you're saying is so true, man. Because we don't know them; they're not worth investing in. It's boxing. Boxing's it's in a crazy place right now as far as trying to organize a union.
See, it's an individual sport, you know. And that's what makes it so hard to get something going on it, you know.
I mean, I think when boxing left free TV, that hurt it the most. Because when you back in the day, you all know ABC, Wide World of Sports, you could see NBC Sports, all these sports networks. You could see a pro fight with two very good guys fighting at 3:00 in the afternoon on ABC, Wide World of Sports. I think I watched Tony Lopez and Jorge Paez on ABC, Wide World of Sports. You know, but that's gone. So the average person doesn't get to see you. Just look at the Olympics. The Olympics, boxing used to be on in prime time. Now you got to go to some third-rate channel just to see a couple of highlights and clips of the Olympic boxing.
It's rough, man. But hey, tennis is an individual sport. What do they have for tennis? Do anybody know?
I'm not sure if they have.
They have a league.
Yeah.
It's a league.
Once they get to those elites, and once they get to those elites, you don't see the guy who ain't never won nothing and lost to everybody at Wimbledon. You don't see it.
And they have sponsors too, and that's how they can get their money too.
They have tournaments where the best fight the best play the best, and it comes down to the champ. And that's what boxing needs, man. Can you imagine if we had tournaments for different weight classes? Different countries. Boxing would thrive. Boxing would thrive, man.
Every time we've had, like, I always think back to the Andre Ward Super Six. The Super Six.
Love that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was a fan of it. I thought it was great. But I think the Super Six killed him financially as far as what he could have maximized on. Because once he fought those 6 fights, and from my understanding, they were set, the purses were kind of set beforehand so they could do the 6 fights. As you won and moved up, you got more. But by the time the 6 was done, he cleaned out the division. Wasn't nobody left. So from a fan perspective, it was great for us.
For us, it was great. Yeah.
But for his perspective, if he could have stretched some of those fights out, fought some guys in between, he might have lost out on $50 million with the Super Six.
Well, we can go back a little further, keeping with our theme about the shadiness of boxing. Don King, when he had the U.S. tournament, you guys remember that back in the 70s? It was aboard a battleship, a big naval ship, and it was Don King. The scandal hit it because he was falsifying ratings. He was bringing in fighters and billing them as 17-2 when they were, like you said, they were the guys who were 3-16. I mean, it's tough because like we said, man, boxing it's not organized like tennis. Tennis, the ratings are pretty cut and dry. You have the seeds in the tournament. That's what boxing needs, but then where you had somebody like Don King back then, he brought a black eye to the tournaments because he had rigged the ratings, and there was a big lawsuit about it. It was huge back in the 70s.
Yeah, it would take too long to get results.
Don King got Howard Cosell got his toupee knocked off, if you remember. That was one of the big stories, man, by Scott Ledoux.
Yeah.
But boxing is so everywhere. So many people are chiefs. So many people are chefs that there's not enough. I don't think enough people will take it seriously.
I just think once you start bringing in too many people to regulate, especially with boxing, it's gonna help a lot of boxers, but then it's gonna cut a lot of guys who are at the bottom as journeymen. Them guys gonna get cut out completely. So if that dude was able to make 10, 15, 20 grand over the course of the year, supplementing his income, take care of his family, that 20 grand just went out the window. Because now
20 grand is considered poverty level.
Yeah.
That's poverty. That's poverty.
And like I said, he was using that 20 grand just to supplement his regular job. All these guys got jobs. He's doing that to supplement. So that 20 grand might have been the get over for his family. And now you're saying we got a certain regulation, certain criteria. Some of the promoters, like they always talk about, we don't need promoters. Then promoters start saying, well, I'm not going to put this guy on my card, or I don't need him because it's not valuable to me. Now we're saying, oh, wow, guess we did need these guys.
And then on that 20 grand, you got to pay taxes on it, because, like that's how a lot of the guys get all messed up, because they just get that money and don't pay the taxes on the money they get. So that's something that's involved in it too,
Yeah. And that's because you're an independent contractor. So you receive a check and you're supposed to take care of everything that's supposed to be taken care of, opposed to having a FICA automatically be pulled out and everything. So next thing you know, it's 10 years down the road and Uncle Sam. And that's real, man.
Yeah.
And he want his.
And that happens all the time, man.
And that nice car you bought, and that nice house you got, and all that stuff. Oh, if you can't pay, they're gonna put it up for ransom for you, man.
And I'm saying even world champions are destitute right now. We got some guys right now that were former world champs, are broke.
Oh yeah,
don't have anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this on that, Coach Marvin. I work a job. I have my own job. I'm not a pro athlete. I got to budget my finances to do everything I have to do. And these guys that are pro athletes, I think sometimes, not just in one sport, not just in boxing, but across the board, we kind of give them a certain pass on being adults. Nobody budgets my money for me. Nobody tells me pay my taxes. Nobody does any of that for me. Me and my wife got to be on top of that for ourselves. So at some point, certain levels of responsibility as an adult, doesn't matter if you're an athlete, an entertainer, or you got doctors that make the money that these fighters make. So you got doctors and lawyers that make that. Those guys paying theirs. Certain levels of responsibilities got to fall back on.
Yeah, but here's one thing you have to understand too: the brain damage as that comes in with that when they come into to the end of their career. A lot of them are touched. I'm saying you can see some right now that were out there and was doing it, man. And I'm saying they don't have the mental capacity, man, to do anything like that.
Oh no, I'm talking about when they were active in it. When I see some of these guys and we think back or we see them years later, I remember some of these guys from when they were in their prime and in their mental capability, greatness. That's when his tax problems came about. Tax problems didn't come about at the end of the career. He wasn't making that money. It was when he was in the prime of everything. When his faculties were there, he had no problem going to buy that Rolls Royce. He had no problem.
But like I'm saying, when you young like that, you always think you're gonna be in that position making that money like that, man. You don't think about the future.
Oh no, I'm with you, Coach. I'm talking about those guys that they saying they coming to get me for my tax bill back in 1988, 89, 90. Yeah. Like, come on, brother. We, at certain points, we all got to be responsible adults. And I understand when they get older in their career, having somebody to be helpful for that. But when them guys hit the tax point and Uncle Sam taking everything, it's always 5 or 6 years after the career was over. They taking that money based on what you did 15 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So, and another thing, check this out, man. You got cats that started out when they were young, and some of them, man, straight out the hood, don't know nothing, man. Don't know what an income tax.
And don't nobody teach them nothing.
Ain't taught them a darn thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you give them, you're 21 years old, and I just gave you $3 million. You know what I'm saying? They have no skills. Like, I was doing homework with my son today, right? And he had to do a breakdown of buying a car and the percentage on it, the interest rate, and know how much it's going to be monthly. I wasn't taught that when I was in school, man. Ain't nobody teach
you. I wasn't either.
They teach us none of that type of stuff. I knew nothing about what, you know what I mean? And thank God that I never had to get finance for a car because I always bought it in cash. But you know, I didn't know none of that stuff. But they teaching them that stuff in school now, man. I was so impressed with his homework. We sitting in there trying to figure out with the 3.9% interest rate, how much is that for 3 years if he got a 3-year note? And how much is the taxes on $21,000 car? And then Maryland is 6.5%. I didn't get none of that when I was coming up. You did?
Yeah,
you know,
but how many of these guys had a father that's around, that's worrying and want them to be successful? There's not many.
Not many.
But you got to remember that, to me, that's even an even deeper question. That goes back to what was established by the government. You know, the whole purpose of them doing certain things and making certain things available because they did not want the male in the house, regardless of whatever your nationality or your color is. If you were getting anything from the government, they wanted to remove the male from the house. That wasn't an object of success. That was an object of failure.
Right. One second, fellas. Hold on 1 second. KQ, hey, can somebody put the link in the chat? Well, it's already in the chat right now, but can you pin it so KQ can get that link so he can come in? Can someone do that for me? The link. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it. You know what? Hold on. Invite, copy. Righty. All right. Let me see if I can figure this out, man. You know, some things I can do, some things I can't. Paste. Okay, bam. KQ, it's going to be in the chat in a minute. There you go, right there, my brother. If you want to come in, come on in. There go the link in the chat right now. Sorry about that. Who was that? You about to say something, Wim Old School?
Yeah. Okay. Back to the pension talk. If we could do 5% for the fighters, right? Take it off the top. Why not take another 2% for the old fighters? The ones that are retired, the ones that are in bad shape, and put something together for them.
Yeah.
Sounds great, man. Hopefully people that make those type of decisions or can make those type of decisions hear this channel and hear stuff like that, man. And that's why I want to have this type of conversation, you know, because it's real, man. It's real. And there's so many people, man, that welcome KQ. There's so many people, man, that boxers that I see now, man. What's up, Jaleel? It's so many boxers, man, that got it rough right now, man. It's people like Riddick Bowe, man, and Thomas Hitman Hearns, and you know what I'm saying? They might look like they got some money right now because some people done stepped into their lives, man, and started helping them out. But in real, man, a lot of them brothers, man, they ain't got no money.
Yeah, and a lot of them are damaged, man. A lot of them are damaged.
That 2% would help these guys. It really would. And it would help. Look, we see the horror stories all the time about these old guys that don't have no money. Some of them can barely speak right. Their motor functions are off. I mean, they need help.
Yeah, they need help. And let me tell you something. And yes, California does have a pension. But recently, it was on Boxing Scene that fighters in California never even knew that there was a pension for them. And this money is being collected and collected and collected. And they knew nothing about that. They were privy to this, man.
Right. And see, that's the thing that goes on, that there's nobody watching the watching.
Wow. Yeah.
See, that's where the problem come in, because somebody has to watch it. Somebody has to watch the person that's watching, and the watching. You know,
which leads to this question. Do boxing need like what basketball has? Have a commission? I know they said we got a boxing commission, but I'm talking about
commission.
I'm talking about an overall commission that handles this type of stuff, man. That has a governing body underneath them that handles boxing, man.
It ain't gonna happen because they still think of it being an individual sport.
Visual, right, yeah. It's still an individual.
And not only that, but the state commissions, they can't get together. What we're going through right now with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Ryan wants to fight in Las Vegas. Devin wants it in New York. Ryan smokes weed heavy. Las Vegas doesn't test for THC. New York State Athletic Commission not only tests for THC, but they can also declare the fight no contest at their discretion because of the levels. So I mean, boxing's all over the place. If they can't get together on something as simple as this, then how are they going to get together and form a pension?
Right. They need a overall commission.
Exactly.
Over all the commissions.
Exactly.
And a union, man.
Right.
Yeah.
We need medical plans.
Yeah,
right.
we need
some medical plans.
Medical plans, union, so much that boxing need, man. But
and I'm saying there's enough
still
money.
The wild west.
Yeah, but there's enough money out there that you can get anything that you want. There's a lot of money out there that's involved in boxing where it should be taken care of like that, man.
But you know what?
Should be, but why not?
It should be, right. It should be, but they can't do the simple thing as go across the street and fight another fighter. So how can you ask them to do something that big? You know,
right?
You know, so I mean, that's just how it is. You know, we gonna fight everybody over here. So that's like, man, rocket science to them. You know.
Yeah.
So, but
and that it done made it this far, and that's what they're gonna say. We done did without it all this time since the 20s, the 16. You know what I'm saying? You know, but when does it end, man? I mean, what do we have to see, man? You know what I mean? Before
I don't think it's gonna ever change, man.
That's sad.
Because it's been going on so long.
That's sad.
You got too many hands in the till. Let's face it. When it comes to boxing, you got the commission, they sucking up money. You got the sanctioning body sucking up money. You got the promoter sucking up money. And then the last little bit left to the fighters, they got to dish out for training and everything else.
Right. Right.
If a death don't change it in the ring, then I don't know what will. You know.
Wow.
Well, I want to say one thing about Ryan Garcia.
That's a heavy statement, right?
I want to say.
Hold on, old school. Did you hear what he just said? Say that again, KQ.
I said if a death in the ring doesn't change it, I don't think nothing will.
Right.
That's heavy.
Yep.
That's right.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
I want to say one thing about Ryan Garcia. My oldest daughter's mother was manic depressive bipolar. Ryan said some months ago, back when he pulled, maybe a year or so ago, when he pulled out of that fight, I had to go get mental health, which means he got on medicine. And I forget who said it, but he did get on medicine. If that boy's drinking, he's canceling out his medicine, because when you drink, it kills off the depression medicine.
But it intensifies some of it too.
Right. So if you want to know why that boy's acting all strange, he's drinking. He's killing his medicine off, which is stupid.
Well, you know, if you watch that press conference, he makes a real habit of trying to tell everybody that he never did cocaine. And then if you listen, somebody yells, Adderall, Adderall. And Ryan is he's a kind of a walking drugstore. He's got to be real careful. I don't think his mind is in the game. I'm not even sure that Ryan Garcia is going to make it on April 20th to the fight at the Barclays Center, man. I think they have Arnold Barboza in the wings, and I think that's where you're going to see take the stage.
Well, we done seen where a guy just breaks down in the middle of the ring. Oliver McCall, man, back in the day, man, just broke down in the middle of the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, they take a physical, you dig, in that, but do they take a mental test to see if they're mentally able to do a fight? I don't know. I'm asking, I'm asking people that actually have fighters. I'm asking the trainers right now. Do they do mental tests?
Well, Oliver McCall was a notorious cocaine addict. He was a crackhead. In fact, Don King, and I know this for a fact because
that's irrelevant, man. Do they have?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Have that's what I want to know.
No, they don't.
Finish. I was going to answer that question. They took him
I apologize. Sorry about that.
They took Don King took him right out of rehab for that rematch with Lennox Lewis. So
Wow.
I mean, was his mind in the right place coming right out of a fucking rehab center? I mean, dude, the mind is a terrible thing to waste, and they don't give mental evaluations for boxers. That's just not physical evaluations. Weight, but nobody checks their mental health.
Not just McCall. Let's not forget about Andrew Galata, the ball puncher. That man was nutty as a fruitcake.
Yeah, they try to get him to go back out there, man. He wouldn't go. He wouldn't go at all, man.
I remember that. Yeah.
He wouldn't open his mouth. He wouldn't open his mouth to get the mouthpiece in there, man.
Yeah, but I think, and that's so important, man. Because if you look, even in court, they ask you, "Are you sound enough to make this statement?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, it's serious, man. But it's okay to be cuckoo. Well, I don't even want to say that word. I apologize for that. But have a mental issue, man. But be able to go out there, man, and fight another man. If you're unstable, heaven knows what you might do to this other man in the ring, man, if you off your rocker. And let me tell you something. You got schizophrenia where you got something in your mind telling you got voices. This voice might tell you to go in there and actually get rid of somebody in the ring.
Hey, all that stuff you saying real, but I done seen it personally. If they want you to go on trial, they don't care if you mentally competent or not. They will put you on. That's not a good one there because I done seen it myself. You can be declared completely incompetent, and they will still put you on trial if they want to. So that at the end of the day, good example. Whether you the government, sports, or whatever, they gonna get the outcome that they want regardless. How many guys in pro sports, football, been complaining now? I wasn't able to play, but they told me either you play, you gonna get cut or something, and I went and played anyway. That's all the way across sports. When you got money involved and people are making money off of it, they're always gonna do what's in the best interest of the money.
Next question. Let's look at sanctioning. Okay. And the reason why I bring that up is we look at someone that might be ready, that made it all the way up to the level where they are the mandatory, but yet the mandatories are not getting a chance to get their mandatories. When they finally made it, they done struggled, they done made it all the way to the top, man. But yet the sanctioning committees are not making these fights happen, and that's again the business of boxing, i.e. man, Canelo, you know what I'm saying? Canelo, they don't force him to do his mandatories, man. Exactly. And I don't want to just point out Canelo. There's a lot of people that are not fighting their mandatories, man. But that is so wrong, man, because that is an opportunity to be great. And they snatch it away because they rather get the 3% of 35 million opposed to the 3% if that guy beats you and he's only making 100,000.
But that's everything, Jay. I mean, once again,
but is that how we're gonna just accept everything?
We've been doing it for football and baseball and everything else, so we're gonna point out boxing. How long did Jordan Love sit and he should have been on the field? How long did Kaepernick? How long he ain't been? Every sport got whatever their thing is. It's just how it affects what we like. You got
a son fighting, man.
Correct.
You got a son fighting, right? And
correct.
He's going to work his way up. Your son's going to be a world champion one day, and he's going to make it all the way up to the WBC. And it's time for him to fight somebody at the WBC, but they won't make his mandatory fight him. They won't let the champion fight him. How are you going to feel about that? And what are you going to do about it?
How I feel and how I react are two different things. I learned that from
Okay,
How I
and
feel,
that's why I asked both. That's why I
yeah,
asked both. What you
how
gonna
I
do?
feel, I could be very upset about it. How
Mm-hmm.
I voice is not going to voice in a way where they still had a control rod to keep moving me out the way. You got
Well,
to
what do
remember,
you do? Teach us then. What do you do then?
I say this: you keep doing your situations like the opportunity to speak out like you do. I like the way Benavidez did it. He spoke out about it. If you can't get to speak out about it, you keep beating up everybody they throw in front of you, like James Toney did. I'm gonna keep beating all y'all up, and you got to stay the course. I mean, at the end of the day, we still talking about people who make objective or unobjective decisions. This is like looking at a painting. If you look at a painting, 10 different people are going to see 10 different images and they're going to get 10 different visuals of it. But the only visual that matter is the person who's selling the painting and the person who's buying the painting. The other 8 or 9 don't matter. It's hard, and I know we've had fighters in all of the situations, and it's hard. But at the end of the day, you got to think, what truly can you do? If we not walking away from boxing. We love boxing. We love it to death. I love boxing. If my son got screwed by the sport of boxing, I would still be like begrudgingly loving boxing because we love the sport. But we love, be honest, we love the nature of violence that comes with the sport. That's what we love. We come
We
for the violence.
That's
bloodthirsty. We
because we don't think of
bloodthirsty.
it as violence.
But
Right,
yeah,
right.
we come
Sport.
we come
Right.
we come for the violence. Just to be honest, we look at a guy who's a consummate boxer and he can't sell out arenas. We look at a guy who destroys people. He sell out a building every single time. Anywhere you look, we come for that.
But we
We
don't
come
think
for
of it as being violence. You
I know.
know, we just think of we just we just take it in. We don't think of it as being violent. Oh, that dude can fight, man. But you don't think that
But
somebody gonna
but,
really get hurt or really get killed or something like that, man. That's
but
just
going
the
back,
way it is.
But the ticket sales say the opposite. The ticket sales say the opposite. Nobody bought a ticket to a Mike Tyson fight to see a 12-round fight. They came to see a 2-round massacre. And then the
right.
guys who are consummate boxers that can't get the sellouts, then guess what? They wonder why my ticket sales ain't doing great. Why? Because people came. Well, it's like having that one person that's willing to say what nobody else will say, but we all sit in the audience and shake our head. Yes, he's only saying what we feel, but we too scared to say it.
But one thing too, it all depends on the personality of that person, man. Sugar Ray, he knocked you out, but he wasn't knocking everybody out, but everybody loved his style. Everybody loved him. You know
But
what I'm saying?
Marvin,
So you ain't always
you
got to
beat
be
the vast majority up.
a killer
You
in
beat,
the ring.
hey
Oh
Marvin, you beat
you
the
preach
vast
it. You want to
majority of
remember.
them up, though. We got to remember he beat the vast majority of them up, though. That's just,
Yeah,
you can't. He
yeah.
didn't sit back and just make it a boring 12-round. Please get to the end fight. Ray was
No,
really
but what
trying
I'm
to get him.
saying is that you did see his skill level.
Oh yeah, you did see it, but you knew you had a 7 out of 10 chance of seeing a knockout. A lot of these guys now ain't no 7 out of 10 chance. It's a 2 out of 10 that you're gonna see a knockout because they there to fight to the decision.
Hey, Jay.
But what you were saying about the sanctioned bodies, like he said, you got to do what David Benavidez is doing. You got to keep on fighting, keep on winning, and put the pressure on the sanctioned bodies. All right, if you're not going to strip him, then I'm not going to take no step aside money. So what do? You got to put the pressure on the sanctioned body because the sanctioned body is the middleman right there. He the one can control him fighting his mandatory or get stripped. It's up to him. So a lot of these guys, they'd rather take step aside money than go ahead on and fight the champion. We have a lot of guys like that. Stanionis, he took step aside money. I think twice, maybe 3 times. So he was spent, I believe, on mandatory. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But guys in boxing appreciate knockouts, knockout sales, like Emmanuel Stewart said, knockout sales. But also you got to appreciate the art of boxing. You got to
Yeah.
appreciate the fundamentals.
Yeah, to be a complete fighter, you have to have that KO ability. You know, you can't just and you can't just be a knockout artist either. You can't just be like an Ernie Shavers. You have to be. I mean, there's the perfect boxer. The guys like Ali, like Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard gets you in trouble, he's gonna fucking finish you, bro. That's just the way he is. But then you know, I mean, I hate to say, guys like Shakur Stevens, one of the prettiest boxers in the world, but he doesn't sell because he doesn't put anybody on their ass, and he doesn't finish up and knock people out. And that's what the people want to pay for today. You know, everybody wants to do pay-per-views. They want to take a lot of money, but you have to be entertaining, and people fall asleep watching a freaking 12-round dance session, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think you hit that on the head right there. You hit that on the head. I think fighters have to understand where they're at when it comes to not the business side, but from the fan perspective where they are. Like I said, everybody want to be a pay-per-view guy, but everybody's not a pay-per-view guy. Some guys, you might top out as a consistent $2 million guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. You might top out as a guy that's a gatekeeper that makes $600,000-700,000 fighting the guy that they think is the next up. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not Canelo, Tank, Mike Tyson. Everybody's not. That's a select few. Everybody, a lot of guys can be stars, but only a handful of them will be mega stars.
Okay,
And that's
next question.
Jay,
Next,
I'm about to cut out, bro. I've been working all weekend and I still got a whole house to clean, dude.
all righty.
I just wanted to show up, bro, because I'm always got the grandkids on Sunday, so I didn't have them because I had to work all day. So, but I wanted to show up for you, bro.
And I appreciate it. And I want you all to know that William Old School was the guy that suggested to me, hey, why don't we get a panel of older guys? You know what I'm saying? And it's because of him that I started this. He was like, yo, you should get a panel of guys 50 and over, man. So salute to you, William Old School. We appreciate you.
50.
KQ, I'm glad you showed up, my guy.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.
Okay,
Peace out, my brother. Peace out. Peace out. All right, next thing, man. When we talk about the business of boxing, the business of boxing has stopped a lot of fights that we want to happen, but we don't get them because of the money. How do we get these fights, man, and also get the fighters paid all at the same time? I know it's a $1 billion question, but you know, what has to happen, man?
Well, a lot of times the fights that we want to see, the people, the boxers don't want to do them. You know, I'm saying we got two guys that's in the same weight class that's very popular, and we would like to match them up or see them fight. They might not want to do it.
Well, you know how we see great fights when we see cross promotions, when we see fighters cross the other side of the street. I mean, the greatest fights I can remember back in the day, you know, you had Don King and you had Bob Arum, and believe me, they hated each other. They would kill each other, but when there was money,
they made money.
They didn't give a fuck, bro. I mean, they got together, put Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard together. They put amazing fights because they realize it's better to have a half loaf of bread than no bread at all. You can split that big chunk of bread in half, and you can both eat well. But I mean, it's too much greed in boxing today. You know, I mean, when Floyd said he's not going to make these other promoters rich, that just made me go. I mean, so that means you're gonna isolate your fighters. You're only gonna fight Floyd Mayweather promoted fighters or PBC fighters. I mean, it makes no sense. You're a world champion. You got to fight fighters throughout the world. Go ahead, KQ.
No. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think the money part. You know, everybody want that big bag, and people don't want to. First, it was Floyd Mayweather, a model. I don't want to lose my O. All right, so I'm not gonna fight this guy. I'm gonna kind of stall him out, or I'm gonna go fight someone else, or the money, the business ain't right. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. That kind of thing. But I'm not saying suppress the pay, but it should be levels. It should be levels of the pay, and that can get them to fight each other. And the more you win, the more you fight, the better competition you fight, the more money you would get, and plus who you bring in at the ticket at the gate. That's how you generate more money. Of course you're not going to walk out there and get millions and millions of dollars, but you got to make good fights, and you got to make fights that we want to see. Now, of course,
see,
go ahead.
You know what you just said? You explained why we can't have a union. We can't have nothing going with boxing after the fact. You explained the whole thing. Why there isn't a boxing union, why there isn't anything like that. Because, of the individuality of it, right. It's hard to come to terms on stuff like that.
Yep, exactly.
Well, let me hold on. Okay, one thing I want to throw it out there: MMA, UFC.
What about it?
Seems like their motto is working. I don't know if it's working just for the owners, but it seems like their motto is working. You fight.
It worked for the owners.
Well, yeah. See, that was UFC was put together as a business from square one, grassroots. Boxing's always been boxing, and everybody has their own way of doing business in boxing. UFC, Dana White. I mean, he said this is how it's going to be, and that's the way it was, and that's the way it is today.
And it's a team. It is a team sport too.
Explain that. Explain when you say it's a team sport.
It's a team sport because they're groups. They're different groups that work with each other and train together. Each fighter comes from a group.
Yeah, in boxing too, though.
No, but what I'm saying,
no, I'm trying to say
the way it is set up, that is a team. It is a team sport.
I don't know. I don't watch UFC. I'm gonna be honest, but I know they gotta get down or lay down policy. The best gonna fight the best. The best fight.
Most of them come from a team.
Hey Jay, I look at it like this. I say the one thing that nobody, I guess, looks at the same way I do. I blame the fans. I'm gonna tell you why I blame the fans. Okay. If you see have you ever seen a pop singer go do MMA over at the UFC? You ain't never seen no pop singer, no rapper, nobody else get in no UFC octagon and do UFC. UFC ain't going for it. They're not going for it. When you got fighters out here and they look and they see YouTubers never had a fight, make $10, $15 million, and they can't get $2 million, them guys are starting to look and say, the fans are making this decision. I don't care what else you put together. At the end of the day, you got however many numbers of people, 20, 40, 50,000 people, 200,000 people buying on pay-per-view, and they see a YouTuber make $20 million. It's more important than to get your YouTube numbers up than it is to be a fighter.
Okay, Bernard, hold on. Before you
the fans make that decision.
But hold on. Do you not think that it happened because we weren't getting what we wanted? And since we wasn't getting what we wanted, we weren't getting what we wanted. We started looking at other options.
No, and that once again, if you're gonna tell me you're gonna spend $100 on a pay-per-view to see a movie star fight a real boxer, but you won't pay the same money to see the WBA champion fight the IBF champion in the same division, that's crazy. But that's once again, that's what they're doing. When you let's remember that.
But is it the same fans though?
Yes.
Is it?
And I'm look at this.
And
Well,
it
look
has a
at
lot to do with
I'm not
marketing
paying.
too.
I'm not paying. I consider myself a supporter. I won't pay for that though.
But
I won't pay for that.
But you may not.
I've never paid for that. Ever.
You may not pay for it, but somebody who follows this YouTuber who now wants to be a boxer, fighting a boxer who they already like, they paying for it.
You sure it ain't their fan? You sure it's not their fans from YouTube?
Once again, even if it is their fans from YouTube, that's even making the point even more. The fighters say, I need to spend less time fighting and training and spend more time doing antics that get me people to follow me on YouTube. If boxing clearly said, if you're not a licensed professional fighter, you cannot take part in a sport that requires you to have that, then you would not even have these YouTubers in there.
Thank you.
You can't tell a YouTuber, I'm gonna go to the NFL and be a receiver for the Raiders because the ratings gonna go up. The NFL ain't doing it. They're not gonna.
But that's not the fans doing it. That's the commissioner, whoever. They the ones that admitted let it happen. They the one that let a guy that never fought before
get a license.
Get a license and fight Floyd Mayweather.
But did they get a license? Does he have a professional boxing license? Is he considered a professional fighter?
Jake Paul is.
You sign up.
Jake Paul's example, bro. Last night we had on the Zone, there were 2 featherweight title fights on the same card. It was almost unheard of. They were entertaining fights. And then at the same time, Jake Paul's fighting some bozo out in Puerto Rico, knocked him out in the first round. But the thing is, bro, I got 3 screens in front of me. I watched Jake Paul kick the guy's ass. I was hoping to see Amanda Serrano. They canceled that fight, but I still watched that the Zone card. 2 great featherweight fights. I mean, but boxing, I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're throwing on these sideshow fights, but I treat them like sideshow fights. Like I said, I was watching one of them on the small screen, but the great fight, the good fight they had last night, the Zone fights, that was the main event. That's what the hardcore boxing fans watched. But you're still going to have these circus shows. You're still going to have Jake Paul's, and I mean, damn, I can't even remember them because every week there's another one out there.
Joshua and Ngannou, they fighting.
If that's going to bring fans to boxing, what the fuck, man? You might as well let it happen.
I don't know. I didn't watch
I just saw a fight on the Zone, the football player fighting a 4-rounder.
I watched the top rank.
I mean,
I watch them all, man. I watch them all.
Yeah.
And once again, if you got a guy from YouTube fighting even a former boxer, but he's fighting him, and both of them walked away with 20 million apiece. And then you had 2 great fighters fighting each other, and they could barely get 4 million apiece or 2 million apiece. What does that tell you? The people with pockets are saying, we want to see this as opposed to this. At the end of the day, we got to look. The people buying the fight or buying the record or whatever it is, the consumer dictates what's going to happen. You got to look, these companies not stupid. These companies got people who work for them where their whole job is to project what the numbers will be, just like television shows. And if the projection does not say that this is going to get us X amount of profit, then they're not going to do it. I mean, we're not just talking about boxing. You got TV shows we thought was a good TV show, but then they canceled it because the ratings did not say that this show should go again. It says that. When you look at Canelo, when you look at Tank, the ratings say them dudes is who I want to hold my belt. Them the dudes who I want to keep fighting because they bringing in the big numbers. At the end of the day, we got to remember it's a sport, but it's also a business.
Yes, sir.
The business is going to dictate everything all the time, no matter what.
And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the business of boxing.
But listen, we've seen pro football and pro basketball and pro baseball go on strikes because once again, the business will always dictate, no matter whose business, the player business or the fan business or whatever, it's going to always be dictated by business. If it makes business sense, then it happens. If it doesn't make business sense, it won't happen. You ask Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, if they'd have fought 5 years before they finally did fight, you think they would have made the money they finally did make?
No.
So the business said this fight shouldn't happen yet.
Let me ask you a question, Bernard. Do you think if there was some kind of a thing that went down, do you think boxers would go on strike to support each other?
Nope.
No.
Not one day.
No.
Not one day.
That's
Too many different guys. Once again, like you said a great idea about giving up 2%, 5%, but the average guy who make $1,000 for a fight, his 2% don't look the same as Canelo's 2% or Tank's 2% or Devin Haney or any of those. You got to convince those guys whose 2% is a couple of million that they should give up 2%, the same way a guy whose 2% might be $80.
Individual contractors, man.
Yeah, that's it.
It ain't gonna never happen.
Right now, you gotta look at this from the sport. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'll say this: me and my son have been together in this sport since he was 6 years old. Look at the money we spent for him to go to tournaments, for him to equipment, all the money we spent ever before he turned pro. And he made it to the elite level, and he got the notice of Mayweather Promotions. They signed my son. And now you want me to do and invest the same as the person who was at the bar watching a fight and said, I could be a boxer, and he go sign up and become a boxer, get a $50 card. Ain't invested nothing, but you're telling me now I got to give up the site. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. It took my son turned pro at 18, signed at 17. So we did 12 years of boxing just to get to the point where somebody would sign us. And that it's like we don't want to, that doesn't mean anything. That 12 years don't mean nothing, but it means something to all of the fathers and parents and families who've invested that into those guys. When they turn pro, I tell anybody, my son could win a fight. And he's not a stingy guy. He said, Dad, I won $20 million. I want to give you back everything you invested in me to get me to the point where I can win the $20 million. Because believe me, you ain't rich the day you sign, even if you sign with a major promoter. So if he did that, he damn near giving me and my wife a third of that. Because we done put that much money into him. You got to think it's more than just, when you say make it fair across the board, listen to both sides that are making fair across the board. If that's the case, make it fair across the board for us, because we got 12 years before this. What do we do about that? And then, Jay said something made sense. How would I feel? This is what I say about I'll feel one way, but I'll voice it differently because I know what he's put into getting to this point. Life, see, that's the thing. I think people got it confused. They say fair is not outcome. Fair is opportunity. That's where we have the confusion. Everybody has the opportunity that steps into it whenever you step into it. But your outcome doesn't mean it's fair. If that's the case, everybody would say it's not fair if I ain't a millionaire. If you would say NFL ain't fair because you just can't go sign up for the NFL. But you can just sign up to be a pro boxer.
Right.
Okay, but but would you agree that boxing is the Wild Wild West?
Yes, I would say that it is. And it's not going to stop being the Wild Wild West if you put regulations on it. It's just going to have less people with guns.
But there are regulations, but there are different regulations throughout.
Yeah, that's all that is. I don't think that's going to change the face of boxing. It's just going to eliminate. I think about the guys who will never be world champions, but they're using boxing to supplement their family income. That guy is gone. Once you create this, that guy's gone. What about the small promoters who are able to do cards now that if you put these new regulations and stipulations, they can't afford to do cards? Now that guy who might have only fought in the bar rooms, he don't even get that opportunity no more because now the bar room is gone. You taking money out of his pocket.
So what do you say? What do you say we do, Bernard? Keep it the way it is, and
I mean, honestly, it's sad but true. But I don't see how you change it unless they had one NFL, like you had one governing thing, you're never going to get all of these promoters to ever agree to that, because then that undercuts their value. Because if it's one league, if it's the NFL, why does it matter which team I play for? I'm going to still get my money.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy, man. But it got to be an answer to this, man, because
we've been looking for that answer, man, for over 100 years, man.
Look, Jay. Al Heyman is not going to agree with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya, Al Heyman, and Eddie Hearn, they got different ways of doing business.
Right.
And so they're never going to agree on one thing. Cause Oscar think Al trying to take over, and and Bob, he want to go old school with it, But now you got younger fighters coming in today and pushing the old ones out, like the old Golden Boys. They went over to PBC, like Keith Thurman, Porter, Garcia, Danny Garcia. Those guys are going pushed out now. And now we got the younger guys coming up, from Top Rank, Carrington, Shoo Carrington, and all the rest of the guys. So maybe the young minds can change and start taking hold of their own careers. All it needs is one to do it.
But they were still tutored by the old guys, man. So they still want to have some of the same habits and the same ways of the old guys.
How do you take control of your career if you're not number one, you don't have a businessman or business mind concept. Number two, you don't have the financial capability to take over your career. And number three, you going to a table that's already been set. Jay-Z and 50 Cent couldn't even get at that table, and them dudes got money.
Hey, if you're 50 and over, you don't have to ask to be on the panel. The link is in the chat. 50 and over. We called at the door. I can tell if you're 50 and over. You don't look that good. So if you're 50
you gotta show your ID at the door. We got bouncers in here, man.
Yeah, we do. So you don't have to ask, can you come on if you're 50 and over? Sorry about that, fellas.
Nah, that's it. But yeah, I mean, that's just the reality.
But what you're telling me is that we should just give up. We should not keep talking about this, and one day maybe we figure it out, man.
What I think in our lifetime is not going to be a change.
I mean,
that's a good point he made. These young guys, these young guys, like his son. His son is young, and his son can't come in and take over his career or things like that unless he hires someone.
But you can't even hire nobody. I mean, just be realistic about it. You ain't got we ain't coming in as millionaires. Right. And you trying to sit at a table with millionaires and tell them how they're gonna do something where they're gonna prosper with or without you. Mm-hmm. And then if you look at the situation, it's like everybody always said, if these kids go to HBCUs, we'd be just like Notre Dame. If you've been 12 years with your child and he's the basketball player, he's the number one player in the country, especially with this NIL money, you gonna tell your son be the poster child for doing the opposite thing? You're crazy. Right. Nobody's gonna do that. Nobody's gonna say after 12 or 13 years of hard work, you're gonna be the poster child that's gonna go the direct opposite way. I'm not gonna tell my son to do it. Because if it go wrong, everybody else gonna go the normal status quo. We gonna still be on here on Sundays, and they're gonna say, "Man, that kid made a bad decision."
Right.
Nah, that makes sense.
Big Dose, welcome.
Hey, salute Jay, and salute to the panel, man. I kind of feel like I think that the state of boxing has changed for a few reasons, and I think one of the main reasons is we not getting the fights that we want to see when we want to see them. A lot of people got turned off from what happened with Mayweather and Pacquiao. Boxing lost.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I know. But boxing lost a lot of fans then too. And now we still seeing it to this day. That's one thing. The other thing is with piracy, with fire sticks. I think a lot of these boxers gonna have to come to the realization that the money ain't like it used to be. Back in the day, you used to be able to do a pay-per-view and the networks can recoup their money and you get a nice payday. Now they're gonna have to start accepting less money for great fights because people gonna steal it.
It ain't gonna happen.
Great point.
If it don't happen, then boxing gonna die.
I
don't think it's gonna die. Boxing ain't gonna never die. As long as you got these bloodthirsty fans, it's always gonna be there. It's always gonna be there.
Jay Hardcore. As long as you got kids coming out the amateurs who ain't millionaires that will take 600,000, take 800,000 and fight 5 times in 1 year, boxing ain't gonna never die. They always got somebody young that will take that money. Look,
but are they not accepting less though? Are they not accepting less?
But that got
it ain't no less money out there. It's good money. There's good money out there now.
Yeah, he didn't accept less. He accepted what his plate could call for. If you got a guy just using anybody, if you got a guy like Terrence Crawford, he say I want 20 million for this fight, but then you get another guy. I use my son like Jaleel, and he say, shoot, I take 2 million for it. They can get 5 fights out of Jaleel for 2 million each fight, as opposed to one with him with Terrence for 20 million. They're gonna get him 2 million. And this a kid that don't got no millions. By the time he say 2 million ain't enough, he done fought 5 times and made 10 million. Then they can go do that with the next one.
Guess what? Jaleel is a good quality fighter though.
But it still don't change the money.
I believe that he's gonna be a great fighter. So for him to accept that, the network is getting a hell of a deal.
Yeah, but if you look at it from the point now,
it's going to pay off in the long run, though.
Yeah, you gotta think. Look at the year. Was it 3 years ago when Fundora fought 5 times in 1 year, and they were saying he made like $500,000 a fight. So over that year, he made 2.5 million. If you was a fighter who was looking for 5 million for one fight, but you could have took one fight for 3 million, you saying this kid made 2.5. And if you ain't never had the 2.5, you're not turning that away. I'm not gonna tell my son turn away 500,000. We're not millionaires. Take the 500,000. You can fight 5 times in a year. I always tell people this.
You better be quiet. You better be quiet. They be like,
no, I'm just saying, but it's not a secret. It's real.
I'm just joking with you.
You put that foot on anybody. If me and you could switch places, and I'm being you and you being me, now you Jaleel's father, you gonna look at it differently from the father point and the time y'all put into it, as opposed to me. Yeah, you gonna look at it. I can't tell my kid. That's just each one of these fighters. They got families, and it's sad, but most of our fighters come from Black and brown communities where they don't come from a lot of money. So what you offer these kids, that's a chance to change their family's life.
Yeah, and we got to keep in mind. And when I say this, I say it respectfully. Okay, it's still 36 minutes. It's 36 minutes. I know you're gonna say, you know what? But we put in so much time in the back. But no, it's 36 minutes that you're gonna give me $500,000 for. That's good goddamn money, man.
But you know what, Jay? I say what you said, but I say this. I say it differently. I said they gave me 36 million for 12 weeks and 1 day. Because from the time we signed that contract, I know 12 weeks from now, I got to make that weight and I got to get in that ring. So they didn't pay me for 36 minutes. They paid me for 12 weeks and 1 day.
Facts.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask y'all something. Which fight do y'all think was more anticipated? I mean, despite what the numbers said, Tank versus Ryan or Bud versus Spence?
Oh shit.
Bud Spence.
Tank versus Ryan.
But that's because you know what the numbers are. I'm talking about despite the numbers. Nobody sitting here like, oh man, I can't wait to see Tank versus Ryan for years. Who was saying that?
No. Let me say why I say Tank versus Ryan. And don't you say. Yes, the Bud and Earl Spence was more talked about for more years, but when it came down to what the box office and not the box office sales after the fight, listen. I'm not talking about the box office after the fight. They were already saying he got this many social media fans on YouTube. He got this. They weren't saying Ryan is the greatest fighter. They're saying what we can anticipate. It's like a movie. The movie anticipation of what it potentially can make. Right. That's what both.
Nobody answering the question, because earlier you were saying about how these boxers shouldn't have to worry about social media or getting their social media up, but that's what it is now. That's the times we live in.
Right.
Now you got it. That's part of your job. You got to get
you 100%. You 100% right.
And all that. You know what I'm saying?
You 100% right. And you know what made you 100% right? The night that Floyd Mayweather fought Logan Paul, and he got more money than at least 7 or 8 guys who were defending world titles against #1 guys. That showed that right there.
Right.
When he put that type of money in, that showed these fighters, please keep training, but you better start doing interviews. You better start being visible. You better start being at different events like the Golden Globes, all that type. You got to do red carpets, because if you don't have a fan base, you don't make no money. Floyd Mayweather had the biggest fan base we ever seen, and that man controlled 2 dates on the calendar. And we ain't seen another black fighter control May 4th and September since Floyd. Once again,
and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was talking to an amateur fighter the other day, man. We're interviewing him tomorrow morning, man. His name's Keith Mathis, and he's 2-2. He just fought the other day down at Rosecroft, right? And I'm interviewing. Well, I told him I interview him tomorrow morning, right? But you know what I told this guy? I said, "Do you have social media?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you post?" He said, "Not a whole bunch." I said, "From now on, I know you 2-2 right now, but from now on, I want you to post every single day. You working out and everything, man. And I want you to not turn down interviews, because all that in the long run is going to mean something, man. Because that's the era that we in now.
They want to remember you.
It's a popularity contest now, man. Wow. And you know, so it be killing me where these boxers, man, they don't even want to do interviews with us no more, man. And they don't understand. And they don't understand that, you know, it's the media that's getting you out there, man. But you know, I got them calling say, "Oh well, give me $100 and we can do an interview." I said, "You know what? You know, I'm telling you, that's what boxers say to me. So I've heard 2 people tell me that so far. I'm like, I ain't never paid for an interview, and I ain't gonna start today. You know, because it works both ways, man. It helps me and it helps you.
They're in the social media world right now. It's so easy for these guys to get out there. They don't even have to leave their apartments with YouTube, you know, with Facebook. With FaceTime like this, like we're doing now. I mean, dude, when I was a kid, I was working with a radio station. We had to get Marvin Hagler in there at 5 o'clock in the morning to do a fucking interview. You know, I mean, it ain't like that anymore. And these guys don't realize how easy it is to get that exposure, because this is what you need in this day and age.
Yeah,
so man, they should take pages out of 2 people's book. Floyd Mayweather laid the blueprint. And then you better take a page out of these YouTubers' book and put both pages together, because you're not going to be able to do it without a fan base. Why? Once again, if you make yourself the promoter, why would I give you $1 million and you ain't got but $100 worth of fans?
Right. Damn.
I mean, look at these. If you told a fighter, "Let me see your social media, and we're going to base your money off of that," he got 1,000 followers. So you got 1,000 people that even care to hit the follow you button, but you want me to give you $1 million to fight and we know we're not gonna get that many people to come see you.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. Who knows you?
Ryan Garcia got 2 million followers. Tank got 2 or 3 million followers. Even if we get 10% of their followers to either come or buy it on pay-per-view, we don't got to sell out. We got to sell out. You got to start looking at how these companies look at stuff. You can't look at it through the blind eye of I'm a great fighter, I'm a great coach. You got to look at it through
Gotta hustle.
Right. You got to go out here and put your face to the stone. You got to go see people. Man, Floyd Mayweather see people. Floyd Mayweather wants to do interviews. He want to get stopped. He want to do this type of stuff. But you got a fighter that ain't got 10% of Floyd Mayweather's following talking about I don't do interviews. I got this big entourage. You got 30 security people around you from your neighborhood, and ain't 3 people recognize you walking through the mall. They recognize you got 30 people with you, so they think you might be somebody, but they don't know who you are. When Floyd Mayweather walked through a mall with 4 security officers, he can go to the bathroom at the movies. They be like, that's Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly.
That's why he deserved that money that has generated. I think sometimes people forget Floyd Mayweather didn't start out as Money Mayweather. He was Pretty Boy Floyd
first.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. He went through a bunch of stages to get to where he at. Right now, they say Floyd ruined it. Floyd didn't ruin it. He showed you the stages. These guys, they don't want to be Pretty Boy. They just want to be Money Mayweather. You can't do that. You got to
put the blueprint out.
You got to hit them pieces in between. Just like I told you a couple weeks ago. Guy said, Floyd Mayweather ain't no knockout artist. I said, okay, why isn't he if he knocked out 50% of the people that he fought? When the guy you were telling me, he knocked out maybe another 5 or 6 more people. Floyd beat a lot of people to get to where he is.
And they made it and still pushing that social media because he knows it makes him stay relevant. It makes him stay relevant.
See, a lot of people forget about Pretty Boy Floyd. I mean, Pretty Boy Floyd, and he go skip and go to Money Mayweather.
Straight to Money Mayweather. That's crazy. That's the part that made. Once again, if we saying fans don't want this, Floyd Mayweather do an exhibition and get $20-40 million.
Yes.
And you got a guy with a title who don't want to do interviews. He begging or he mad because he's saying, y'all gotta come see me. But guess what? He can't give it $1.5 million. Do what Floyd doing. Make your face visible. Be places. Do different stuff. You can't hide from your fans. We the only sport where you got guys hiding from their fans when they get a title. I'm not hiding from my fans. If my son, my son won a silver title. Anybody who wanted to take a picture with him with a silver title, he's taking pictures with him.
That's right.
We get high posts. Oh man, 2 weeks ago you wasn't the champion. I can come in your gym. Ain't nobody standing at the front door. You win a title, you got to do that at the front door. Talking about, you can't come in today, the champion here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Every kid that come to my son with a pair of gloves, my son asks him, do you have a marker? I will sign him. Any kid that, when they asked my son to go to elementary schools, he was just at one last week. It was a little kid that was my son. I'm gonna post that clip. His Black History idol was Jaleel. And my son made sure he was at the school and he took a picture with this kid. You gotta do that stuff. When did we get away from doing that stuff?
Yeah, Ali was kissing babies, man.
Right.
Yeah. When did we get away from that? But they want to go hang with a rapper.
When did we get away from the champions one that prove that they're the best out there? When we get away from that too.
You right about that?
And you gotta be a showman too. You know, it don't hurt to be a showman too. You know, you be exciting. You know, so they know when you come and you gonna fight, you're gonna be exciting. Not only in the ring, you know, going to the ring.
Remember when dudes used to put money into their outfits? Man, you knew a dude was gonna come in with something slick. Every time Floyd fought, you had people that was just coming to see what he was.
What he got going on, right?
Yeah.
or Sugar Ray Leonard coming in with the tassels on his shoes.
Right.
When Ray came in there with them tassels on them shoes and he started doing the shuffle, woo!
I mean, what happened to like the brother just said, what happened to the piece of showmanship? Since my son pro debut, I always tell him, son, your outfit got to be just as memorable as your fight. My son don't do robes. He does messages on his t-shirts. Every time it's people who have texted us because they want to see what the next message is. You got to give people a reason to want to see you.
And this is the business of boxing, of what we're talking right now. And that is so imperative. And I hope fighters are listening to stuff like this because it's imperative, man. It's so important, man, for you to engage with your fans, man. Don't hide from them. Don't hide from them, man.
Man, you know why people want to fight Rolly? Because Rolly sells fights. Ryan sells fights. Remember, you remember Marvin and a couple of guys on here. Y'all remember Ray was mad at Donnie Lalonde for not selling the fight.
Yeah.
You gotta sell the fight. Ryan sells fights. I love watching Rolly, whether he win or lose, because Rolly gonna sell the fight. He gonna talk about
because he talk crap, man.
I wish Rolly would fight my son. My son get a chance to fight Rolly. I know that's gonna be he gonna say some crazy stuff, and I'm gonna be laughing. My son gonna be mad at me, like, man, he called you a big head or something. He's gonna make you gotta sell fights.
Rolly said, Rolly said you're ugly.
Hey, the only thing
I saw Muhammad Ali exhibition back in 1978, and after the fight, Ali sat by the exit, and he was giving out autographed prayer cards to anybody who wanted to wait in line. But I mean, you could see the love that he had for his fans, and that's why the fans loved him, bro. And that's what these fighters have to do. They have to show that genuine affection. Take a little bit of time out. Ali could have jumped right in his limousine and went the fuck to the hotel and partied. He sat there and he gave everybody an autographed card who stood in line to get it, man. And I remember that it was like almost 50 years ago. And this is what fighters today, they have to do things like that. I mean,
You know, like
one reason why Ali is considered one of the greatest today is his showmanship.
Right.
Hey, let me tell
you, I had a situation where, see, I give away fresh vegetable and fruit in front of my gym, to the community, and I invited, any boxer to come by, and volunteer and help, and give them a little interview. Let them say, yeah, I got so and so helping me today. His fight is coming up this time and that time, But these kids, they won't even do that. I'm saying even the guy that I train, he won't come and do that. And I got about 15,000 followers.
Hey, check this out, man.
And my man call us, tell us come up there. We gotta get up there with you one day and do that, man.
Yeah. See you volunteering and giving back to the community and stuff. Man, I'm saying crazy, man.
Hey, check this out, man. I'm 55 years old. When I don't know if I guess I was about 12 years old when I met Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali came to Washington, D.C. on the Monument grounds and for the exhibition fight against Mr. Tooth Decay. Okay? Afterwards, I got in the ring and stood right there and took a picture with Muhammad Ali. And I'm 55 years old, and I still remember that, and I cherish that moment, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mr. Tooth Decay is who he was fighting, man. You know what I'm saying?
Did Mr. Tooth Decay knock Ali down?
I can't remember, man. I don't even remember. All I know was Ali was there. I didn't give a damn about Mr. Tooth Decay. You know what I'm saying? I can give a damn, but I know Ali was right there, and I took a picture, and I didn't even have a picture. They were just taking pictures, and I just got in it. So somewhere it's a picture floating around with me, Ali, and Mr. Tooth Decay.
There's a bounty on that picture. $1,000. That picture in here.
Mr. Tuesday say I took a picture with Jay Hardcore and Muhammad Ali happened to be in it. Muhammad Ali happened to be in my picture with Jay Hardcore.
Right.
But I'm gonna get on out of here. Salute, brother. Salute to everybody on the panel.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
you.
Hey, Big Dose, before you go, bro, you had William Joppy on there the other night, bro, and that was an awesome interview. I know not a lot of people saw that, and anybody go back and see that because William Joppy, a great middleweight champion. He fought Bernard Hopkins. He fought fucking Roberto Duran. He fought everybody. Tito Trinidad and Big Dose had him on his show the other night for a great one-on-one interview.
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Hey, matter of fact, hey, Bruce Dose, put it in the chat and I'm gonna pin it so people can go check it out.
All right, for sure.
Hey, Bruce, send me that link on my Instagram.
The link for Big Dose's show.
Yeah.
I don't even do Instagram that much. Are we Instagram friends, Bernard? I'm not even sure, bro.
Hey, we gotta be. If we ain't, we need to be. But I want to see that interview.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Big Dose is gonna put it in the chat right now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, put it in the chat, and I'll make sure I'll put it in your Instagram as well, Bernard. You know,
hey man,
I'm looking forward to seeing it too.
You guys, every week when we had this show, I look forward to it because you all show something that I think these young people, not just in boxing, need to see. We have some of the greatest disagreement dialogue, and nobody disrespects anybody that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and that's the thing
we barely disagree.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing I appreciate the most is that we have dialogue as men, and we're showing other young men you can have dialogue, and we don't have to always agree, but still be respectful amongst our conversation.
Well, that's the hangout. That's the hangout model, though.
Yeah. That's what I enjoy about it. When I look back, and Bruce always bringing up something, and I go on YouTube, Bruce, and I look at some of the stuff after you say it because I want to see some of these fights. When they show the build up, those guys didn't get disrespectful, talking about people's mama or any of that type of stuff. They were very direct with each other. They sold the fight, but they still remembered they respected each other as combatants. And that's the part. Bruce made me go back and watch the night when Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns fought. I watched the HBO thing after Bruce said something about it weeks ago. And they really got after each other in the press conference and leading up to it. But they never were at the point where they disrespected each other as men.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I think.
The spirit of competition. And I come over here because I feel a spirit. I feel the spirit of boxing in here. Not too many places I feel that spirit. And this is why I come in here on a Sunday night.
Man, I'm about to lose my battery. I figured out it might have been me because I had my charger. I had my charger plugged up.
Hey, you were beautiful tonight.
It was great today. It was great.
Yeah, it's having my charger plugged up. So I'm gonna leave you guys. I appreciate you, brothers. I love these Sundays. Right. And like I said, I hope that if I ever start to get high posts, if my son doing something good, y'all bring me back to earth because I love being here with y'all.
Hey, no problem, man. Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
I got to dip out too because I do the Tim and Tim show. And
it's time for the end of the show anyway, so it's a beautiful thing.
All right, man. Hey, man. God bless everybody. I'll see you all next week.
All right.
Thank you. Special God bless to you, brother.
All right. Yes, sir. You too, Bruce.
Yes, indeed. Hey, KQ, I appreciate you showing up, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll be here now. I got your channel. I just got to get that time together because I keep on forgetting you an hour ahead.
Yeah, I'm East Coast. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna stay on once it's over, and I'm gonna get your telephone number. So once I turn the show off, and I'll get your number. Okay.
Okay.
All right, then. Cool. All right, Marvin.
All right, Jay, I'll see you, man.
It's always a pleasure, man. You take it easy, Marvin. We gotta get together this week too, Marvin. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Peace out. All right, everybody. I want to appreciate everybody that came in the building and gave another beautiful show. And I'm looking forward to it again next Sunday, man. But don't forget, 8 in the morning, 8 in the evening, I do a podcast, man. So make sure y'all show up. You know, I see a lot of people up in the building right now. I appreciate you all. Salute. Other than that, it's